electro pop version of Sade. Let's talk about Robyn. So, word on the street, and that be courtesy of Claus Allen, who you know or may not know, has produced a lot of songs and has collaborated with Robyn on some of her most iconic hits. He actually revealed this tea on a Swedish podcast, which somebody went and translated it. But here's the thing: yesterday, when I found out this news, I was like, "Oh, now I need to revisit this Robyn discography because it's been a minute since I've listened to her music." So I listened to Honey. I listened to the album. That is a slow burn. I love the album because it has like so many jazzy elements in it, and there's like a lot of electronic elements. So it's like a lot of things that she's doing was like it's got some sultry R&B. It's got some jazz moments. It's also got that electronic stuff. So it was like a huge departure from Body Talk. Body Talk I did not revisit, but I listened to Honey, and then afterwards I listened to her collaboration with Royksop, which I absolutely love that EP. So many great songs on that EP. But I'm hoping that we get a lot more of the electronic stuff. And look, if it wasn't for people like Robyn, we would not have artists like Charlie XCX and Troy Sivan and so many others that we have out now, where she kind of brought like that emotional electro pop. So I even think Lord, we could even categorize her in that whole situation. So the widely beloved, massively influential cult pop star Robyn only makes music when she feels like it, and she doesn't feel like it very often. Robyn's last album was Henny, in the words of RuPaul, which came out in October of 2018, almost exactly 7 years ago. And Honey was Robyn's first album in 9 years. Its classic predecessor, Body Talk, came out in November of 2010. Most people can't disappear for 8 or 9 years at a time and return to a ravenous audience, but most people are not Robyn. In April, the Swedish singer spoke about it in a interview with Paper, where she was asked about her tendency to release music and then disappear from the public eye for years. She said she's been in the studio a lot lately making new music, saying, quote, "That's what I've been doing for the last 2 years, but I've also had a baby, so my life has been very domestic and Stockholm based," she explained, and said that having a baby made her excited to make music again because what once felt like work now feels like a vacation. So she said with a laugh. Now, thus far, Robyn has made no statement about a new record, and she's not really someone who teases things out for months ahead of time. Now, last week, however, her longtime collaborator Klaus Allen appeared on producer Per Nordmark's podcast, Nordmark Pod, last week, saying GAFFE has a quote from him that our own Scott Lapatine translated from Swedish. Well, this is from Stereo Gum, by the way, so I want to give credit to them where I got the story from. So now, about 55 minutes into the conversation, Alan says, "Just finished the new Robyn album that's coming out. Super exciting. Very proud of it." That is super exciting. Now, Alan also mentions that he's working with Weezer and Show Me the Body, both of which are interesting. Well, I don't know who Show Me the Body is, but a Weezer album? That's going to be interesting. First of all, I worked a Weezer concert. They're actually entertaining live. So I can only imagine like what the music will sound like when they collaborate with each other. Now, Robyn's debut album, Robyn Is Here, Jesus, I feel old, turns 30 next month, and a 20th anniversary edition of her amazing self-titled LP is coming out this Friday. Last year, Robyn appeared on a remix of Charlie XCX's 360 and on Jamie XX's Life. This year, she performed with David Byrne at the SNL 50 concert with Jamie XX in Copenhagen and with Gracie Abrams at Lollapalooza. Last week, Robyn was with Charlie XCX and George Daniels' wedding party, along with Young Lean, Maddie Healy. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I was thinking Taylor Swift for a second, but it was Charlie XCX. Yeah, Maddie Healy, of course, going to be there for the 1975. Carolyn Polachek, Clay Rowe, Troy Sivan, and various other personalities from the extended Brat universe. So yeah, looks like we're getting new Robyn music. I just wonder how long we're gonna have to wait. Cause bit, ma'am, I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. I want to know right now. That ain't her song, but I don't want to keep waiting for you to give us the music. What does it sound like? Has it evolved since the last work you did? And I definitely want to see her get out here and tour. Like I would love to see a Robyn tour. I forget what it's called, but I know they do like a Robyn night in Brooklyn. All the hipsters get together and they celebrate all things Robyn. I believe she showed up at one of the events too. I think they do it at $3 bill. I can't remember off the top of my head. If I'm incorrect, let me know in the comments. But um I know they was doing like this annual thing in Brooklyn celebrating the music of Robyn. And Robyn definitely gives hips to tease with her overall look and all that other stuff. So I'm definitely looking forward to hearing this music. I know when she first came out, and I wasn't the only one that thought that was a black girl that was singing. When I heard that "Do You Know What It Takes" on, when they had her kind of doing like the whole Max Martin was producing her stuff, and she was sort of doing like that R&B pop, type music, kind of what Britney Spears started doing later on. And then hearing Robyn, I'm like, we all thought I was a black girl. And then I remember when she went on RuPaul's show, the one that was on VH1, and she said the same thing. She was like, I thought you was a black girl. So shout out to you, Robert. I'm definitely excited for the new album, but I definitely want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story? Are you excited to hear this news? Klaus Allen, who is a frequent collaborator of Robyn, says that, yeah, we've been working on this album and we're done. And I don't know when it's going to come out, but be on the lookout for some Robyn music. I'm starting to think maybe we'll get something by the end of the year, like a single, and then we may get the new album sometime in 2026. But it's definitely on the top list of my highly anticipated. Not as highly anticipated as new music from Madonna, but for the most part, I am definitely excited for some new Robyn music. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.